These are 5 upcoming Hot Toys figures you do not wanna overlook. Here are the 5 that I think are being overlooked, and we're gonna kick things off with Deluxe Indiana Jones. I think that this figure is getting big time overlooked. Like, I really do. I think that this could be, if this comes out this year and gets in hand this year, I truly think this could be contender for figure of the year. I'm not even playing. Just looking at this figure and everything that it comes with. Again, I've talked about this figure on my most anticipated list. I've talked about this figure a lot because I think that it's just, I think the reason it's getting overlooked because it's from a movie that wasn't received very well. It's from Dial of Destiny. It's from an older Indiana Jones where people kind of want that younger, in his prime Indiana Jones. This could technically also work for like a Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but that movie wasn't very well received either, even though I did like that movie quite a bit. I'm all for that though. I'm all for getting a Temple of Doom Indiana Jones, a Raiders of the Lost Ark, a Last Crusade. I'm all for that. But I'll take what I can get. With this Harrison Ford likeness right here, this likeness looks incredible. I think that this figure right here, you can kind of just see it. The body proportions look great. That leather jacket, the hat, the different accessories. And the reason I say deluxe, and you see the whip there, just look at this thing, man. This looks so good to have this quality of an Indiana Jones figure in your display, even though it is an older indie. I just still think is a must-have figure. And I just think that this is one of the best bases that I've personally seen since I've been collecting. I love how it shows the logo, even though it does say Dial of Destiny. I get it. I know that's, a lot of people don't want that movie represented in their collection, but I just love that logo. The Indiana Jones logo is just so good to me. And I just think that this looks great. I really do. I think it's worth getting the deluxe for this base personally. And we're going to take just a few more looks at the figure right here. And this is something I really wanted to point out as well. I think that it's up here. I just wanted to kind of show you all the different shots of this figure. You can just see all the stuff it comes with, man. I mean, this has got just great accessories, usable accessories, meaning that I feel like these are accessories that just won't be left in the box. Like, I feel like you're actually going to use this and put this with the character. And yeah, I just think it looks great, man. The hat, the likeness, the leather jacket, just the head sculpt looks phenomenal. And you can kind of see here the separate rolling eyeballs. You know how big and important that is for me. Genuine leather jacket, shoes, and whip. That is fantastic. I don't think people realize how good that is going to look. And hopefully that's the direction Hot Toys starts going with their figures. Again, environmental base with 2 styles of display. So even if you don't like that Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny, you can flip it around and boom, you got that style of display as well. And this is really cool too. The deluxe version exclusive of this specialized figure holder. Now it's going to hold on to the leg. It can go up the pant leg. It can be pretty much invisible, which I think is an awesome accessory right there. So you can see everything that comes with the figure. This Indiana Jones figure, I cannot wait to get this one in hand. I truly think when this figure comes out, if it comes out before the end of the year, this will be a contender for figure of the year. And I think that people should be putting it on their radar. Even if you don't like older Indiana Jones, I still think we got to appreciate the quality that this figure is going to be providing. The next one we're going to be looking at is Batman 2.0 Batfleck. Okay, I get it. It's Batman. Nobody overlooks Batman. We're always going to be collecting Batman. I know how well Batman sells, but out of all the Batman figures, I probably hear the least amount for this. I don't know if it's because it's a 2.0, if it's because it's Batman versus Superman Batman. Maybe it's because that armored Batman's coming out. Maybe there's Batman fatigue with Ben Affleck Batman because we're also going to get the Flash movie Batman as well. There's a lot of Ben Affleck Batmans up for pre-order right now, but for me, this is far and away the best one that is available for pre-order right now. I used to think it was the armored Batman, like when I first saw that, but to me, it's this one. This one looks absolutely fantastic, and I want to show you just the body proportions, just how good this thing looks, man. The suit looks great, and whether you like the movies or not, I didn't like the movies at all, but I really liked Ben Affleck's portrayal as Batman, so I definitely want that in my display, and you can kind of see this quality of the sculpt. This is far and away the best Ben Affleck sculpt we've ever gotten. And we might, I'm telling you, this figure is one that is a must-have in my opinion, because I'm telling you, I'm starting to feel like Ben Affleck's not giving out his likeness a lot for a lot of these upcoming figures that are coming out. You can even see it with the armored Batman. Some of that looks off. I don't even know if that is Ben Affleck's likeness under the mask there. So this one, to me, this might be our last chance to get this quality of a Ben Affleck head sculpt. Again, I don't know how they can do it. Maybe Hot Toys goes back and can like reuse the likeness, but regardless, this is by far the best representation of Ben Affleck's Batman that we are going to have so far. And I just think this head sculpt, man, the hair sculpt, the head sculpt just looks absolutely phenomenal. Again, could they do an artisan of this? Absolutely, they could. That's a possibility. But for me, I just think it's a must-have figure for any Batman collector. I just think it looks phenomenal, man. And I'm just going to show you real quick. The additional, this is for the deluxe. So this is the deluxe, but the additional rotatable cowled head with separate rolling eyeballs, that is such a huge accessory in my opinion. And you can kind of see the interchangeable lower faces really look good. You're seeing Ben Affleck with all the likenesses there. I actually really like the middle ones, hit or miss for me, but I like the options there. A lot of times with these interchangeable lower faces, when they try to get that action or that angry face, it kind of falls flat a little bit. But you can see the difference here. If you have the 1.0, I know you're not a fan of these 2.0s. I totally get it, but I still think even if you have this 1.0, you can kind of see the quality you're getting with this 2.0 based on the prototype. And just for me personally, man, brand new redesigned, highly detailed muscular body, enhanced articulation, and allowing natural posture. If you're a Batman collector, man, plus this diorama base, this is a no-brainer. This is one I think that is being overlooked. If a Batman figure can be overlooked, I feel like this one is, just because all the ones we're getting right now. I don't hear this one being talked about near as much as other ones, and maybe it's because the release date is a little further out, but this is one that you do not want to overlook. The next one we are going to get to is one that they have updated, and because of that update, it is absolutely one that I feel like is still being overlooked, but it is Supergirl. I think that Supergirl, and you can see this head sculpt. They haven't updated it yet on the site. So here's the new updated sculpt. I'm actually going to move myself out of the way a little bit here. Just let's minimize this just a little bit so we can see. You could just see this head sculpt right here, the improvements. All right. Yes. Before the improvements to the sculpt, this was absolutely one that no chance. Okay. Just no chance you were going to pick this one up. But now with this updated sculpt, looking more like Sasha, it just looks great, man. I think that I think it looks fantastic, the sculpt. And right here, you can kind of see this again. We're going to move me back over here. I think that for me, I think that this is a great, if you want a Supergirl figure, this is, again, personally, I think she was by far the best part of the movie, the new Flash movie. That's just my opinion. But I thought she was by far the best part of the Flash movie. Wasn't in it a whole lot. Thought she should have been in it a lot more. But this updated sculpt, so keep in mind, this is the updated sculpt. We're going to switch back over to everything else you get with the figure. Again, the body proportions on this figure look great. Again, ignore that sculpt. Remember that the new sculpt is there. The suit just looks great. I think the suit looks phenomenal. The colors really pop. You can kind of see right here the wired cape. I think that's going to look really good. This is going to just be a beautiful figure. Newly developed, highly posable and proportionate, accurate body. Again, just ignore the sculpt. Okay, maybe I should have just kept it on the sculpt picture, because now you're seeing the sculpt again and you're like, but look at this, guys. Look at that LED light up figure base that it comes with. That just looks phenomenal. I just think that this is going to be a great figure, one that is definitely on my radar, one that I'm going to wait till I see some in-hand stuff, like some in-hand reviews or like the official release of it. But I definitely think this one's being overlooked. I don't think enough people know about the updated head sculpt. So this is one to definitely keep an eye on, and one that I think a lot of people are going to be very pleased with once it releases. So the next one, our number 4 is, and again, this is in no particular order, and but our next one is that I think that's still being overlooked. It's one of my most anticipated figures of the year, if it indeed does still come out this year. It is Miles G. Morales. I think this figure is so cool. I know a lot of people are like either all in on the Across the Spider-Verse line, or maybe they're just picking up one figure here or there. If you already got the Miles and the Gwen from Into the Spider-Verse, I don't know how deep you are going with this line, but I think that this line in general is going to look phenomenal together. And Spider-Punk is one that is also going to be amazing, but I feel like Miles G. Morales is probably one of the more overlooked figures in this line. I just think it's just super unique. I think Spider Punk gets a lot of the hype, a lot of the love, which I think is totally warranted because it's going to be an amazing figure. It's going to be a beautiful figure. But Miles G. Morales to me just looks so cool, man. I just love the color design. I love the purple with the black. I just love the design of the character. It features him in what, in my opinion, is the best scene in the entire movie from a movie that was fantastic. And I just think that he just looks so cool, man. I just think that this is going to be a beautiful display piece. It's going to be a beautiful figure to have that you can put with your Spider-Verse display. And yeah, man, this is just one. I mean, that sculpt looks great. This is just one that is a must-have for me. And you're going to have him with Miles, however you want to display that. But I just think it's going to look so cool with the head sculpt or with the mask. It's really up to you. I think with the mask is the play here personally. But man, I just love having this figure. Like the idea of having this figure in the collection is just so cool because it was such an iconic scene to me, and you can kind of just see how good this figure looks. I mean, this figure looks phenomenal, you know. And so I'm really excited about it. I think it's definitely being overlooked. And again, there's so many figures coming out, man, that a lot of these figures do get overlooked because we forget about them because there's so many coming out. But I definitely think this is one that is getting overlooked a bit, and one that you should definitely be keeping an eye on in your collection. There's everything you get with it, the display base, all that stuff. It looks great. There is an exclusive version on Sideshow where you get like these different like eye pieces that I think are not necessary, but you know, it's waitlisted. But anyway, the final one we're going to look at is we're going to look at Captain Enoch. Okay, I have been going back and forth on how deep I'm going to go on this Ahsoka line. This Ahsoka line is very dangerous because there's so many great figures coming out of it. It's every figure that they release the protos for, it just looks absolutely phenomenal. And I just don't know if I can do it, man. I don't know if I can go super deep into this line. So I don't even know if I'm picking up Captain Enoch because I've already got 3 or 4. Already got like 5 figures on that Ahsoka line pre-ordered, like legitimately pre-ordered, and then everything else I'm like going back and forth on. So it really just depends on the release date and all that stuff. But this one is one that I think is getting overlooked in the line because I just think that it's not getting as much hype as the other characters, which rightfully so because there's so many great figures coming out of this line. But this is a piece that I think is really unique and really cool looking. I think this one is going to really stick out, especially if you're getting the Thrawn. You can kind of see how he looks like with Thrawn. I just think that this is one of those figures that for Star Wars collectors, for Ahsoka collectors, like this is such a unique looking character to me that I think really stands out and really sticks out on the display, and one that I definitely think you should be looking into that is getting overlooked. You can just kind of see the sculpt by itself. Like just this sculpt on this looks great. You get like a trooper mixed with like kind of like this medieval knight, like kind of like this gladiator-esque mask. It's just so cool, man. I just think it's such an awesome character design. Whether you thought the character was good or not, you know, with these type of characters, man, that's kind of irrelevant in Star Wars, right? I mean, a character can show up for 5 seconds, look cool, and we all want collectibles of it. But you can kind of see what you all get with Captain Enoch here. I think that this has been overlooked, but I do think it is one that people are going to be paying attention to when it does come out. It's just a matter of how deep you want to go in this line. So I can definitely see this one, you know, kind of sitting around for a little while, but eventually this will get waitlisted like we've seen with the other Ahsoka figures, like Merrick, like all these other ones. So definitely be keeping an eye out on this one. I think this one is being overlooked. Then just for fun, I'm going to throw one last one in here because I want to see this one do well, and that is the Feral Predator. I don't think this is getting overlooked for people who are really looking forward to the Predator. I just think that with all these figures coming out and all these IPs coming out, I just want to remind people that we are getting a new Predator figure from Hot Toys, and that should be celebrated. And I'm hoping that this figure does well. I think this figure is an absolute monster. I think this figure is going to look great. Do I think it's being overlooked because of the quality? No, I just think it's being overlooked because of the abundance of figures we are getting. But to get something from a Fox property, you know, now owned by Disney, obviously, but to get something like a Predator still with all the Star Wars and Marvel stuff that we're just getting thrown at us and all the Batmans, I just think it's great that Hot Toys is making another Predator. Hopefully we start seeing more Predator, Alien, Terminator figures coming out soon. I just think this one looks fantastic, and I cannot wait to add this one to the collection. Again, I just wanted to throw this one in my honorable mention. I mean, look at this thing, man. Interchangeable mandibles. Are you kidding me? I just wanted to throw this in there because I do think it is one that you should keep an eye on, and I do think it is one that is going to really stand out when it does come out. Like people that have forgotten about this one coming out, when it does inevitably get released by Hot Toys, people are gonna just kind of be like, oh my gosh, dude, I forgot that they were coming out with another Predator. This looks amazing. I must have this. So I definitely think it's being overlooked right now, but closer to release, I think a lot of people are going to be jumping on this one, and a lot of people are going to hold this one up high in their collection. Um, yeah, I just can't wait for it. So those are my 5 right there. I'm going to flip it back over to a little bit of a full screen here. And yeah, so those are my 5 Hot Toys figures that I think are being overlooked right now, plus an honorable mention. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Let me know in the comments below if you think any of these figures are getting overlooked. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. I really appreciate you watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss another video from me. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.